Well, evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's more a positive note tonight. Sorry to disappoint for everybody that just loves moaning about Argyle and how poor and crap and plug your ears, Sophie shit we've been recently. But do you know what? We dug it out today, got the win, got 3 points. And as Gavin said in the chat and a few others put on socials, it was typical Derek Adams shithousery that eventually saw us through. After 6 games on the bounce away from home, we finally get a result. Yeah, shut up, Voodoo. We're not doomed. But I will have to say, there was a good luck charm, Voodoo, and it had to be the Voodoo dropped the hoodoo today. I wore this on the watch along earlier, and I thought, yeah, I'm feeling like we're going to get a win today. And we did. Andy, Gavin, Carl, good evening. It's all of us back together again. Thanks for leaving it just to me and Andy on Thursday, you two.
Oh, no. We held the fortnight, didn't we? Like the old days.
We did. Anyway, how are we doing, Andy?
I'm doing good, mate. Yeah, this cold is finally gone. I think I still got a little bit of a cough, but it's finally gone, and I'm a bit happier that 3 points are in the bag.
Yeah, good. Carl, how are you doing? How's things with you? How are you feeling after that?
A little bit more positive that we got 3 points on the board. Still a long way to go, but yeah, a little bit more, happy.
I'll come to the comments in a minute. And Gavin, it feels like it's been ages, but
I'm just sitting here looking at the happy clapper to my left here. God, here we go. Regularly pointing in. That's absolute irony. I'm okay, thank you. I've had a very long week. I'm tired, but I think the 4 o'clock get-offs to watch England badly play cricket is probably making me delirious. But there we are.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's a sign for the test matches to come, exciting, and hopefully not all done in 2 days, which is a very weird feeling for those of you that enjoy the cricket. So, evening, everybody. We've got Stephen Cooper saying, evening, guys, good win. Not pretty, but a great win. Argyle 83 saying, Vale fans saying we're the worst team they've played at home. But we bagged the points. Port Vale is in there. PVFC live. Hi, lads. New to the channel. I hope you're well. Appreciate you coming in. How did you feel about Talai celebrating like he did for the goal? I think, do you know what? Sometimes players should just do that. It's all good fun at the end of the day, isn't it? Stevie Vaughan saying, evening, crew. A much needed win. It had Derek Adams' mark all over that side's tactics today. It was about the result. A springboard going forward. Yeah, let's not get carried away. It was nice, though, to celebrate that win and the first on a watch along, which was even better. We've also got Voodoo in, who said, I just noted earlier, said we're doomed. Typical positivity there from Voodoo. Thank you. Argo 83 saying, let's go. And Accidental Pilgrims in as well tonight. Great intro music, fast sounds, love it. DW Coco, good evening. A new one, I think I've seen there to the channel. Paul Bailey is in as well, who's our talent and Foley under 15s. Did you play today, Carl?
No, it's postponed again. So many games are going to get postponed due to weather or frozen pitches at the minute. So.
Yeah, it's poor, isn't it? Oh, Stevie Watts are just dropping in as well. Good to see you, Steve. And Mike Hawkes, the Reading fan, is in saying great win for Argyle. So, wow, I did enough talking along the watch along. It was good, though, to see. I did say, shut up, Andy. I did say, it was better than saying nothing on a watch along. It wouldn't work else, would it? But I felt Argyle were. It was better than what we've seen. It still wasn't pretty, but I felt they were a bit more disciplined, a bit more organised, and actually trying to look out for each other as well. It was tough. The first half, I think, was fairly sort of even to a degree. We didn't create, obviously, as many of the chances. I think they had the 2 best chances, which Devante Cole, oh my days. PVFC life. I mean, that was he missed an absolute sitter from 4 yards. And in the second half, it was in shock. I mean, so soon, straight off of the kickoff, McCabe charges forward. We then had Sorinola running down the right to get the ball from him and receive it and pit a cross in. and Talai managing to get in between 3 defenders and poke it home with the keeper just not able to get enough on it. Yes, he did celebrate to the Green Army behind the goal. It was a huge relief. And then we were, in fairness, under the cosh and absorbing a lot of pressure from a Port Vale side who were just not great in front of goal. Andy, I'll come in order again. So, yeah, you were obviously listening. You joined me in the chat with everybody else in the watch along. What was your thoughts on that game today?
Do you know what? We just had to grind something out, didn't we? While I'm here, William Larkin, welcome in, mate. It's good to see you. I've not seen you for ages. Good old friend of mine. Yeah, back to the game. From what I heard, we played really well. We got a lot of fight, a lot of gusto in there. Getting the challenges in there when we could, getting the ball across to Talai for the goal. Fantastic. We dug in deep. We got a blood of the snotters point, in the words of Paul Sturrock. Real blood and snotters point today. And yeah, 3 points today. And yeah, fantastic. I feel good about that. So it's a springboard,
Yeah. Carl, you they'd make Keir Starmer look competent, says Voodoo. He also said, win the next one or be sacked, and you get a game versus Port Vale. Cleverly should buy a lottery ticket. Well, yeah, I think Voodoo, we're going to see a bit more of him still for now. So, Carl, yeah, you watched it, did you? Yeah? What did
Yeah,
you
watched it, yeah.
Yeah, what was... You were very critical straight away. Like I said, it wasn't pretty, but it's better than
Whatever
it has
you had this morning for breakfast, it must have been like negative cornflakes. I was looking until after the game. I saw our private chat. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was grumpy. He was actually Andy's title tonight.
I'm going to use a Gavin phrase. Let's be candid.
Trademark.
It still overall was pretty poor, but I wasn't expecting a high scoring game anyway, or us coming out the traps and getting 2 or 3 goals and coming out attacking. It was always going to be a game probably where it was going to be a 0-0 or a smash and grab 1-0. I still didn't see much difference from the last few games. I mean, the first half was pretty even. We defended well. We passed the ball around okay. Didn't really threaten much. Neither did they. Second half obviously started really, really, really good. And Port Vale were on us pretty much most of the second half due to their poor finishing and Devontae Cole being, well, the worst striker performance I've seen in a long time. Probably since, I think it was a game down at Home Park when we were in the Championship. I can't remember who the striker was
Luton Town, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah, when he kept missing all those chances. It reminded me of that. I think any other club we would have played today probably would have beaten us, but I'm not taking it away from the positives. We did get 3 points, and that might do the world of good for the confidence going into a Home Park game next week, which, if we would have lost today, would have been absolutely, pitchforks at dawn. So I'm glad we got 3 points and just take some positivity into next weekend.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing, Gavin, isn't it? Is, you could see the players at the end, and even Cleverly. I've got the post-match clips, the highlights as well, and the stats. But it was one of those where it felt like a huge relief. I mean, Talai getting shoved to go up to the Argyle fans and fist bump in celebration at the end, fantastic. I mean, PVFC Live saying, fair play to Plymouth. They deserved it. We were clueless up front and Talai took his goal well, and your fans are incredible. Paul Bailey saying some great saves from Hazard. There were, in fairness, and a couple of chances where you just think, God, either side of him, they might have gone in if it wasn't for their finishing. But yeah, how did you find the game overall, and how do you feel after that?
Well, so I think I said a couple of Thursdays ago, while we were in this, hiatus of no football, let's just go 4-4-2, play all our centre halves at the back, play really, really dour, negative football, and try and nick a game 1-0. Ta-da! So there we are. I noticed early, being a little tactical mind, because they play really narrow. At one time, I counted 7 midfielders in there in our half, in really narrow, trying to block out, so for us to go wide. And obviously, we didn't have much width today. But I thought it was very much a game of 2 managers that were petrified to lose a game of football, and that sort of seemed to really sort of throw itself into the playing squad of the day. I think people were scared to take a risk. We didn't play many patterns of football at all. It was lump it, which, under the circumstances, you kind of forgive, I suppose, if that's the case. I thought Ross and Mitchell were very good. Such, apart from a couple of brain farts, was much better than he was, obviously, for his 90 seconds against Bristol Rovers. And Galloway came back, and I thought he's getting back towards where he should be. Still a yard of pace off, I think. But I think he got done for pace once in the second half, and the sliding tackle he made to stop the attack I thought was very good. So I thought back four was okay. McCabe, not the game for him, was it? Because he can't put his foot on the ball and play patterns of play and link people up. So he just seemed to hoof it every time he got it, which was a bit disappointing. Thought Boateng was probably man of the match. Probably going to be an unpopular choice, but I thought he put his foot in a lot, won a lot of balls back in the midfield, and made us combative. I think we've been like cling film in the midfield for the last sort of 2 months. So I thought he had a much better game today. Talai was Talai. I think there was a little bit of extra spice. I do love the fact after he scored his goal, I don't know if you saw it on the TV, but he wandered over. There was a stoppage or something, and he wandered over, and your man's pointing that way, the one who he got in front of, and he sort of stood there just smiling at him. He didn't say a word. He just like about a yard away, like just smiling. And this guy's going mental.
He has got that Haaland arrogance as well.
Yes, he does. Yeah. The ultimate shithousery of just standing 6 inches from someone's face and just smiling after you poked the ball in front of them to score and go 1-0 up was very good, because he didn't do anything wrong. He just stood and smiled, didn't say a word. So I thought that was great. I want him and Mumba to stay the top two, because I think once we start putting the ball back on the floor, they will vastly improve. They're much better than Asedi. He's much better than Peppel up there, in my opinion. Patterson's too lightweight, so I actually thought when he got the ball and drove at it, he was okay. But again, there wasn't much time with the ball on the floor, so playing Bally, who's 5'2" on tippy toes with high heels on, was probably not the best. There's a voodoo thought. Mumba in high heels was probably not the best choice when we're playing lump ball. But I think if we can get a bit of confidence and get it down against Northampton, and the run at home games will vastly improve. Talai's a psychopath. Yeah, it was a bit Silence of the Lambs, actually. I wanted him to go Clarice, but he didn't. So there we are. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He might be having his liver at the moment with a nice bottle of Chianti.
And some fava beans. No, a bottle of Chateau Lafite. And Voodoo, you need to cheer yourself up. So get some glasses in you. Come on. Yeah. But
yeah. Look, I expected us to play that. I wanted us to play that way. I expected us to play that way. We played that play and we've won. But I don't feel over the moon. So take those away. I don't feel like I want to, go and curl my toes off the Tamar Bridge as I kind of normally do this time on a Saturday. But I don't feel elated either, because it was a bit of a flat win. But we got 3 points. We're off the bottom. And as I was saying to Dave Mortimer earlier on Twitter, been all over bookings.com earlier looking for mid bargain suite in Wembley in May for the playoff final. Maybe Voodoo can take me for dinner. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, you can take us all to dinner. Let's make an evening of it. Yeah, I think just picking up on the Port Vale fan, just saying, where do we think we'll finish? Steve's gone for the Derek Adams 7th after being in this position in that season a few seasons back. Anywhere outside of the relegation zone right now for me to try and stay in this league would be a good result. Also, it was Nicholas G. Good to see you in again. The referee today, Abigail Byrne. I thought she was brilliant. Said that throughout the match. She let the game flow. There was some sort of challenges where other refs recently would have blown up constantly throughout the game. I think the only thing, and a few of us on the watch along earlier sort of said the same, is the challenge that their number 24, I forgive his name, in the first half went in on Mumba with. I think if Mumba hadn't have rode the challenge and then carried on, would have been a close possible red card, definitely a yellow. He got away with it though, because the play went on for a bit after that. But yeah, other than that, I thought she was faultless and really good. So 10 out of 10 for her. Obviously, we saw Rules come on. Edwards came on. Was it around 65, 70 minutes, something like that? Benarouz came on. We obviously, it's been confirmed by Steve Vaughan in the chat anyway. Benarouz felt his hamstring, cleverly saying that he did do something with that, so we're not sure where he's going to be. You could see when he was walking off, he felt it. Go on, Gav.
79 minutes, Joe.
79 minutes, thank you. Yeah, you feel for him. But this is the danger when you're desperately trying to recruit and you bring in a player that's had 2 knee operations and all sorts over his career. You know, you're going to see these issues. And he actually looked quite sprightly when he came on. It's just a shame that the Derriford physio ward is going to be full again. I thought Galloway was going to join him at one stage, coming off. But no, I think Rules, he looked all right, Carl. I'll come to you and Gav, because obviously you watched the game. But he came on. You could see he was a bit rusty. He had that shot, didn't he, which he probably should have passed the ball to Sorinola. But he saw an opportunity. He must have thought he was in the prime of his life again. And it was just a weak shot that went wide. But he looks promising, doesn't he, Carl?
Yeah, you can see he's got an eye for goal and wasn't afraid to take a shot when he had an opportunity. And he's obviously scored quite a few goals in his career, so I can expect him to do that on a regular basis. But yeah, he looked assured. He looked like he's going to add a bit of fight into the midfield, that experience that we lack because we've got so many young players. Yeah, you could see that he was a little bit rusty. Looked a bit slow. Looked like he was carrying a little bit of timber. But once he gets fit, I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. And it's nice to see him get good 20-25 minutes today. Hopefully leading into a start against Northampton next Saturday. And I'm sure he'll go from strength to strength, and fingers crossed that we can get the best out of him until January and hopefully extend the deal. But yeah, like I said, my neighbour's a Cardiff City fan. We were talking earlier about him, and he said, I think once he gets himself fit, he's going to be a decent signing for you. So, and like I said, lots of Cardiff fans were quite disappointed when he left. So I think he'll be a top player for us if we can keep him fit, which is the biggest problem with any player at the moment, let alone Rules. But yeah, good positive start.
And just picking up before I come to Gavin on Rules, but Gavin's point of sort of just feeling a bit so after the result. I mean, it's just a relief, isn't it? After 5 away games with poor results, and then to get that win, no matter how it came, the 3 points were massive, and Yeah, I celebrated, cheered. It was great finally to get that goal and see it over the line. But sort of since I've come down from that watch along, it's like, yeah, you're just like, right, heads back in the game, get ready, get organised. You can turn up on Monday to training positively, Carl, and get in there and try and see how you're now going to set things up for home and how you're going to try and then take it to Northampton, who, yes, sort of aren't brilliant, but, they could still surprise us, and we've just got to make sure we're focused.
Yeah, hands down. I think another full week on the training field again will be good. Obviously with the news of Pleggy as well and Amici coming back into the squad, I don't think they'll be starting, obviously, like Cleverly said, midweek this week. But just having them on potentially on the bench is going to be absolutely huge. But yeah, it's a game where Northampton, obviously another struggling side. Even though we've been poor of late, it's a team where we should be looking to get 3 points from, and hopefully taking the game to Northampton, not sitting back and making it scrappy like today's game was. But yeah, getting over today, just getting the 3 points was key going into the next 2 home games, because the Bradford one the week after is going to be extremely difficult. So if we can pick up another 3 points, having back-to-back wins again going into the Bradford game, it could look a lot different. But yeah, we want to see some positive signs next Saturday and clear differences of, since Derek's come in and what he's given Tom Cleverly from behind the scenes and what information. Clearly had some impact for today, because that was, like we said, a typical Derek Adams away performance. So yeah, hopefully next Saturday we can hopefully start looking at the table a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I have got some of the transcript summaries from that interview with Argyle TV. I read them out just before kick-off today, but I'll come back to that in a minute as well. Yeah, I mean, Gavin, sort of, look, if we can get Rules getting up to speed pretty quick, he obviously was doing sessions with a local club before coming down here. He then picked up a couple of niggles, didn't he? I think Cleverly said in the presser. So he missed a couple of days training. But with Edwards coming back as well, getting more minutes, you're going to have 2 experienced players areas that can sort of make sure everybody is staying disciplined and organising the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been craving someone to put their foot on the ball in the middle of the park, who's got a bit of nous and a bit of experience, and he is exactly that. I imagine if training goes well this week, he'll probably play 55, 60 minutes, and then they'll bring McCabe back on, or Roberts, depending who they select. So that's good. I thought Edwards was good when he came on as well. He managed the game very well. A couple of cute little fouls, a couple of sort of jockeys into touch, and a bit of wind up, bit of run the clock down. So I think the TC's finally realised now that having 4 or 5 players in the side of the 11 that have got good experience is not going to hurt anyone. And I think there's probably a lot of younger players with far higher bars, but this is not about that at the minute. This is about getting a run of games together. We're not expecting to play perfect tippy-tappy football. We're expected to win games of football at the minute, and 4-4-2 with a good press and some guys that have been there, seen it, done it, should be enough in this league. The Thursday night game, Peterborough against Stockport, I thought that was an average game too. And you look and you think, God, Jesus Christ, there's some real crap in this league. But then you look at us and you think, we're worse. I'm still thinking about last year in the champ thing. We should be beating everybody 17-0. And then you watch us play and you go, oh God, it's quite unnerving at the minute that you can see how poorly we play. But those players also in September won 5 out of 6 and played teams off the park. So confidence is and footballers, we said this last year, they're fickle little beasts, aren't they? And they like their ego stroked and they want to feel perfect going over the whitewash and be able to play the game. And I think pragmatism is probably the word at the minute that needs to be used. But certainly rules in the middle of the park with Boateng for me, Edwards back in at right back, and Such on the bench would be my preference at the moment. We've got to pack it with people that are dependable, that can put a shift in and not really get too carried away and stick to quite a rigid system.
Yeah. Just catching the comments. I'm just going to come to some of those in a second. I mean, Voodoo reminded us in a comment he made earlier about, in this league, it's a poor league, so when we consider where we are, what it's been like for these past 6 games, we played pretty much every poor side down there, give or take, and it's not been great, is it? So, yeah, it is very... And I think that's the one thing Derek Adams will instill when they get back in on Monday, and that is, don't go getting above yourself now. It was a great result. It's good to get it, right? Let's just get to the game on Saturday, and if we can get a win at home, then it's trying to... maintain that habit of winning games again. So some of the comments, Accidental Pilgrim saying earlier, proof as if we needed it, that if you feed Talai, he will score. Yeah, we've said it so many times on the show. He does want to get it, and he did finish that well. I do have the highlights from Sky Sports in there. I've got Harvey England's post-match video as well, and I'll come to the player ratings in a minute to bring to you as we do on this post-match. What we got down here, Stevie Vaughan saying 10 players have been injured for 2 months or more this season. Wow, that's mad, isn't it? Rules looked influential, Accidental Pilgrim said as well. Graham Byrne, we definitely had a bit more about us today. Interestingly, on the watch-along, there's a couple, 2 or 3 in the chat who were just getting frustrated a bit, probably feeling a bit like Carl in the WhatsApp group earlier. Sorry, Carl. And just moaning. And I said, you're not going to expect suddenly if we do get a win that they're going to just suddenly be an amazing team again. It was just about being together, which I felt they were looking out for each other. I mean, Gavin, you noted Boateng. I felt he didn't have a bad first half either. Second half, he was also getting back and helping defend and providing that cover. He seemed to have a bit more of a step back in his game again, which was really good. Dale, for me, has probably been the standout over these last few games in terms of doing a lot of supporting work and trying to get his teammates geared up. But yeah, Voodoo saying that rattled the centre-back was pulling Talai's ponytail. If he cut his hair, he'd be a £10 million player. Love that comment. Stephen Cooper, Port Vale FC, is Robbie Williams still involved in the club? What do you think of Darren Moore? Is he a great guy, but I can see him getting the sack? Effectively, he said, that'll be interesting. Will he be the next to go after that defeat today? Steve also saying, I can't say I've been impressed. I've never, since he joined, would be surprised if Argyle send him back. I think this is Lord McCabe in Jan and bring in a more experienced player. I think McCabe is one of those where he did have some faults today. And when we see the goal back, it looks like he's going to try and shoot it from about 45 yards and then changes his mind to feed it to Soranola. But I think if we get these results and get these wins and we can open up the game a bit more, that's where he will come into the game. It's not one of those, he's not a player to be played when you're sitting back and trying to just defend. What else have we got in here? Accidental Pilgrim saying Plaguey and Zab potentially on the bench next week, as Carl alluded. That's going to be exciting to see that. So hopefully that just brings more positivity and it will create more competition for players, for positions again as well. So everybody's going to need to up their game. Right, I'm just going to move over to the team. Not this, sorry, the match stats. Yeah, sorry, that was a squad for the next game. So possession-wise, 57 to 43. Expected goals, 1.1 to Port Vale, 0.47 to us. 13 shots, which it did feel like for Port Vale, 5 for us. Only 3 on target for them, 2 for us, 1 being the goal. They had 2 other big chances, which were saved by Hazard. But overall, that low percentage seems to be where we tend to then get the results. Player stats. So, Carl, Hazard, man of the match, according to FOTMob, 8.3. Obviously, we've questioned him in goal with, obviously, Hammond after that howler, though. We probably retract that. 2 clean sheets, though, this week.
Yes, big week for him, especially with Northern Ireland as well. And today, I thought he's more like himself. Although, to be fair, I'm not going to sound negative again, but most of the shots were literally right down his throat. He done well catching them, but they were right at him. So, but yeah, he did seem more himself. His distribution was a little bit better. He was a bit more decisive as well. Obviously, it was going to take him a few weeks to try and get himself back to what he was last season and get him all match fit. But yeah, credit to him. I wouldn't say he was man of the match. I thought Mitchell did very, very well the last couple of games. He's been a lot better. Obviously, he was quite critical of his own performance at Bristol Rovers, which he said in post-match interview. But he was more like himself today. I thought Ross, again, was a little bit better. Couple of slips here and there again, but with the weather, that's probably expected. Galloway, again, was solid. Dale, not so much on the attacking threat. He didn't really have much of the ball, but defensively got back and helped Galloway a lot, putting some decent challenges. McCabe, poor. Boateng, as Gav said, was up there. I thought he had a solid first half, but got better in the second half again. I thought he was, again, more like himself. Soranola. I mean, Tolai was great. Again, Mumba, the lowest of all the ratings. Again, I didn't think he was that great, but he did take the ball and try and do something on the left wing. I think once he gets that goal, I think we'll see a different number. But I think again he's trying too hard, and it's not really falling for him at the minute. But for me, I would probably have a Seni up there with Tolai if we're going to go with that kind of like 2 up front.
Or Semi up there with Tolai.
Hey?
Family show. I said you'd have a Semi up there with Tolai.
I would, yeah. With how many Seni scored compared to Mumba this season, he's got what 5-6 goals, has he? So I would go for a Seni, someone that actually knows where the net is.
Ooh, it's getting fire. Hang on. I've got some popcorn here. Go for it.
Oh, you have got popcorn too. Well
yeah.
It's only because you've seen Barley in high heels. That's why you have him in the squad.
Why has FOTMob got the wrong formation?
Because, to be fair, Sky pit up that formation.
Shambles.
So, there you go. Andy, so you've heard, I'll save the Mumba bits for you, and then Gavin can come in as well, because obviously, yes, he's been someone that you've been critical of. I felt today, in that role that he played up front, he did all right, actually. He did create some chances out of nothing. One notably right on the byline where he managed to steal it off the defender. But he was in one of those positions where up front we haven't got much going on. So it's going to be a struggle for him to really get into the game, if it's fair to say that. I mean, even though, yes, he's got a 6.5 in FOTMob for those listening in. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the ratings there across the players?
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Mumbo. That's probably the best place you're going to play him, actually, because he's got a bit of pace up there. He's going to cause problems up there. At the back, he's just like miscommunicating with other players. So keep him up there. Mitchell, yeah, definitely one of the better players on the pitch today. McCabe, as soon as he went off, I think, and they brought in Rules and brought Edwards on, it just shored up the midfield, and there were two communicators on the pitch as well. So that was all good. Yeah, Galloway, good. 7.5, deserved that 7.5. Coming back from a bruising in international break, but actually getting out there and playing these hard as nails, as Clev said. Yeah, and I can't say too much about Boateng. You know, his game as well. It was quite good. Other than that, yeah, all good.
It's difficult. I appreciate, Andy, because obviously you weren't watching it. So
yeah, I didn't see any of the highlights or anything, but I certainly listened to it, and the commentators were saying that those were the players that are the standout players. So
yeah, I think Gavin, sort of the other player that has had a sort of a not settled in fully in this bad spell is Matthias Ross. He's got a 7.8 there. I thought he did quite well today. Took a few knocks as well at one stage. I think he turned his ankle a little bit, which sort of sent me panicking, thinking, oh God, another player that was going to go off with an injury. But yeah, that back line did feel, with Sukes and obviously Dale helping cover as well, did feel a lot more organised and together and played, defended it well. There was a few errors and slip-ups, but at least it didn't cost us this time.
No, it was a back four. It was 4-4-2, and then out of possession, Sukes won't walk about most of the time. Although I did see Galloway on the left wing overlapping twice, which did make me giggle, which was good, certainly in the first half. Yeah, back forward, I thought pretty solid. Mitchell probably had his best game for a number of weeks. Obviously, losing your mum can't be easy for anyone. So the fact that, fair play to him for even trying to play around that period, because I think if you were in a normal job, you probably would have had 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of compassionate leave. The fact he was leaving games and rushing back to London to be with his mum is ridiculous, quite frankly. But, all kudos to him, especially as this isn't even his club. It's a young player, so putting that level of commitment in is got to be recognised. And I thought he was a rock today at the back, and so was Ross. I thought both of them in the air, they didn't lose much, and were pretty solid. Galloway and Suture, wing back or full backs were pretty good too. And that, I think he's got to play that for a while and just be, thou shalt not pass. Midfield, I'm in agreement with you, Mike. I thought Dale is vastly improving that left-hand side. He gets back and tracks back. He's got a good work ethic. He probably hasn't got all the flares and touches of a Ballymumba as a left midfielder, but he's certainly got a good work rate and experience, and he doesn't lose the ball very often, which again is another key recurring theme when we were losing.
He did switch as well in the first half a little bit.
They did. Yeah, they which was absolutely fine. And I think Saranola at right midfield was an interesting selection. I thought he did pretty well, actually. Obviously, he could have, if he was a bit more accomplished from the goal, would hit that ball down that got parried out on the save just after the goal. If he had hit it along the deck, I think he would have given the keeper a lot more trouble. But it was a nice height to save. But there's another Saranola assist for Tlai. He gets down the flank, he hits a ball into the danger zone, and he gets his toe poke on it. So, as the guy said earlier, if you feed him, he'll score. So, you can't really, I think, blame Saranola for anything. I thought he didn't cramp up. Good effort again. So his fitness is getting better. But I'd probably play Patterson out there at home and get a bit more second flair. But that's for later. McCabe. Frustrating, but again, if the ball's, if he's constantly looking over his head for the ball being bounced from one end to the other, he can't really get himself in the game because he likes to put his foot on it and bring passes. But there was no one coming short, there was no one going wide, so it kind of was him just hooking the ball on most of the game. But Boateng for me was standout. 7.4. I think he's been robbed on foot mob there, to be honest. He's back to what we were all lauding him about in September, saying he was probably the best player in the club, and he's getting back towards those levels. So until one chance, one goal next. really. We could talk about this guy till the cows come home every week. Just hope that we stay high enough this year, we recruit well enough to make him believe that he can stay with us and not bugger off to the champ. But there we are. If we do, I'm sure we'll get a pretty penny for the guy and we'll go again. But that was a good bit of recruitment. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, out of all the, what is currently not great recruiting for that summer period, he's definitely one of them. A couple of people still looking at the positives for sure, just not Voodoo, clearly. Stevie Vaughan saying we're now 11th for away form now. And someone earlier in the chat said we're only 13 points off top or something. So Voodoo just also adding, had a twinge in his groin, mate. So Clev's pulled him off on the touchline.
That was a joke in the first half, though. That Port Vale player, literally, he could have just rolled over, and the referee just allowed it. I know she went over to say, can you go off? Can you go off? But he was just refusing. I'll just tell him to get off.
The lip reading, he was like, I can't move.
He stood up.
And then he sprinted on the pitch. So he got his ankle taped up.
He certainly, like I said, out of that for Abigail Byrne's performance, that was a niggle. But he could have just gone down on the pitch and it would have taken just as long.
Am I the only person who thinks that we should have awarded a Stonewall penalty when Talai got clattered? Or
did
anyone else?
To be honest, I didn't see it.
I did shout for it. I haven't seen it back, but it looked
like it was absolutely categorical. If that's Premier League, VAR, point to spot.
Yeah,
not even a question. He'd have been walking to the TV as it had gone upstairs. It was ridiculous. But
also, Voodoo has reminded us, and we were so after we scored the goal. Obviously, we sort of there was about 5 minutes where we had a couple more attempts to try and drive forward, but then after that, it was very much Port Vale who were trying to get that equaliser back and putting huge pressure on us. Voodoo pointing out that we were playing like the last 20 minutes like we had 9 men is a pretty good sign we're struggling. It is, at least all those men did manage to hold it together and keep that result and stop that equaliser going in, and aided thankfully as well by some good saves from Hazard. So Ben agreeing, evening Ben, saying that definitely looked a pen. So I think it's one of those where you hope we go to the game against Northampton and we don't suddenly just collapse again and then it's all negative. I mean, the away fans, the Green Army were really good throughout. You could hear them really loudly throughout. At least the players gave them something to be cheerful of that 500-mile round trip in the end. A few more comments. Stephen Cooper saying, Talai being watched by Stoke. Why wouldn't that be a surprise if that was the case? But enjoy him playing for us. Hope we keep him. But I think he will go to Stoke. Well, who knows? If he keeps scoring some more goals, there might be better clubs than Stoke that might come in for him. What we got? Voodoo saying, just for you, Gav. Good banter in here. We're now 11th from away form, as Steve said earlier. Go on.
Did Voodoo tuck into a nice case of Centimillion or something this afternoon? Because I don't know why he wasn't singing that was a penalty. It was blatant. Anyway, play it back.
That's fine. So, Voodoo, if you want to go and make a cup of tea, I am going to put the Sky Sports highlights on now because he did say earlier, don't show them. Let's have a look at how bad some of this was for Port Vale, let alone.
Darity first to meet it. John again. Lovely ball!
Yeah.
And the header is only just wide from Connor Hall.
This is the biggest miss of the game.
Slipped onto Headley for Port Vale. Cole pointing where he
wants
it.
His own man would put that on a plate.
Couldn't make contact with it.
That's horrendous. That is so bad.
McKay brings it forward now for Argyle. Sorinola. It's interesting.
There you go.
It's a great cross-up.
And of all the scripts this match could offer, of course it's this one. Against the club he left in the summer, Laurent Talai.
Like I said, it was very much like McKay was going to shoot it at one point.
Well, look to get something going, but again it goes amiss.
Get rid of it.
Pressing by Hall. Over it comes, it's delicious, not a down, beautifully Payton.
I mean, that header for Devante Cole to put it down to the player was a brilliant header, in fairness.
This is the best header
well, no.
Yeah.
But McCabe should have got rid of it now.
Cole.
Yeah.
Oh, he's done wonderfully again.
I mean, he
Teeing up
shoots it
Payton
straight at Hazard.
And
It's
Hazard is
such
there
a
to
poor
save again.
shot, that is.
It's like a
We'll
pass
take
back,
it.
haven't
We'll
it?
take it.
Pass back in the shot.
McCabe. Sorinola.
Lovely link.
If he
Playing
shoots
it
low
through,
here, he scores.
Sorinola pushed away by
Keep it
Gauchi.
high.
Keeps
He
looking
got
at
power
it.
on it, but it looked like he tried to dink.
Cole makes the run for him. Curtis ignores him, swings it in beautifully.
That will take it. Better quality finishers would have buried us today.
Curtis delivers
That's
again.
horrendous.
Well, no,
Wow,
down
that is
into the
defensive
turf
header.
and wide.
Got to be a
That's
goal.
about 3.5 yards out.
Yeah. As well as his
Cole.
tapping, which was 4 yards
Plenty
out.
of air on that. Curtis keeps it alive. Cole bringing it down. Payton!
He can set up his fellow players, Devante Cole, but none of them can finish. So interesting. Right, I'm also going to go straight to Harvey's video to get his post-match thoughts leaving the ground.
Right then, so that's full time. Port Vale 0, Plymouth Argyle 1, and we finally won a game.
It's
It's a huge sigh of relief. I think today it was two very poor sides. As I stated at half time, I think that you could see the quality in the two sides deflected on where they were in the table. But hopefully now this is a turning point. Cleverly did say coming into the game that a win today would be huge going into our now stretch of home games. And it doesn't get easier. Northampton, Bradford is going to be two huge tests for Argyle. And we've got to look on to build from this and to build points. But a huge sigh of relief from today. Tully, the ex-Valiant, haunting Vale Park, as I've titled it. But I also needed to mention that my dad did actually say 1-0, not 2-1. So we both got the score prediction right. Hopefully next week we can get it 2 for 2. But finally a happy journey home. See by the smile on my face. Hopefully we can build on from this. I'll see you at Northampton next week. Come on, you Greens.
I think he's also still buzzing from his trip away to Benidorm. But it's good, as Sophia joins Carl there as well. It's good that, the fans that have travelled all these miles, Harvey being one of many that do it, to see a smile back on his face is great. He's right, when you look at the next three fixtures, Northampton obviously at home park, Leyton Orient away, and then it is Bradford at home park. Probably where you want to be with them at the moment, with their manager change. Was it? No, it's Peterborough, sorry, wasn't it? So look, I think the highlights did show some of those weaknesses. There were still those mistakes. Gavin highlighted it just as we were playing the reel there. Not clearing the ball when we should have done at times. And that put us under a bit of pressure. But it doesn't matter because we did get the 3 points. So I'll go now as well to the post matches. Tom Cleverley's first. Clip from Argyle TV. The short.
Tom, that's a bit more like it to be standing here after a game with 3 points. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the sort of the hangover wearing off and all the negativity slowing down. Certainly in our performances and our application for half the game at Huddersfield, for most of the game at Bristol, and for all of the game today. And I think that the lads have showed that in training this week, but in the dressing room before today's game, there was a different feel about it. There was a real sort of determination, and there was a real rallying cry from the players themselves, and they have to take a lot of credit today. I'll
play Galloway's in a minute, but just on Cleverley, I noted this. I watched it after the game while I was doing the prep for this a couple of hours ago. The dressing room shots that they always do, I've said it a few times on the show that you want to see a bit more energy in there, less of all the headphones being on, which today when I watched that back, there felt like that vibe. Obviously interesting that Cleverley refers to it in his post-match there. But I saw that, not too many players walking in and just trying to go hide away from, the camera. They all looked up for it. They're all having some jostling with the camera guy out on the pitch. Still a few with headphones in, but not many. So I think that was clearly...
I think they were listening to the pod, Mike, not the music.
Yeah.
Say again?
They were listening to the pod.
Correct, Carl. Why wouldn't they? I mean, we should send them a set of mugs and stuff, shall we, to have their refreshments at half time. Anyone got any thoughts, Carl, on Cleverley's post-match? Have you watched the full one?
Yeah, I've seen the full one. Yeah,
go on, give us some other insights into that.
Yeah, he still looks downbeat a little bit. I still think it's going to take a few more results to we see more of a happy Tom. I know he doesn't look happy most of the time. His normal face is quite like a resting, well, I'll say resting bitch face, but he just looks like he's away with the fairies kind of thing half the time. But yeah, I think that just comes with the results, and I think getting back with a few more wins at home park soon, we'll see a more positive post-match interview. But yeah, half expected what he came out with today, and Galloway's as well. He seemed to be quite positive about the result and his time away with Zimbabwe, and obviously he's got himself fit again. So he said there's no issues with him at the end of the game either, so he's fit for Saturday. So yeah, not much more I can add to his post-match conference, really, to be honest. It's much more the same with what he used to.
Sophia's throwing her dad off.
completely putting me off here.
Sophia, take that pen, and just draw some stuff on his head.
Draw some hair on.
Gavin, you saw the final video, didn't you, as well?
Yeah. I think he's acutely aware that if he'd come out today pumping his fist with big smiles, then he'd been every bedwetter in Twitterdom would have absolutely tore him a new backside. So I like the fact he said we're not celebrating, we're back to work on Tuesday. This is the turn of the corner, but we're certainly not in any way in celebration mode. He knows he's under pressure still. That's acute. He knows he's got to do better. He knows that, I think, until we're sitting mid-table and we're looking up rather than down, he'll feel that burden, and I think then he'll drive himself on. But yeah, I mean, it's nice for him to have half a smile on his face. It's nice for him not to sitting there looking like he's about to ring the Samaritans. That's what it is. It's like straight from that, straight on the bus. Samaritans. Hello, it's me again. Oh, hi, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
He phones Andy, Gav. You should know that by now. Come on.
What's that?
He phones Andy for counselling.
Counselling, not suicide advice. So yeah, he looked a bit more upbeat. Rob McNichol he's done a very great job, in fairness, over the last 8 weeks, because to keep asking him how crap we are and if we're ever going to get better week after week without sounding either contradictory or condescending, rather, use the right word, or Voodoo will be correcting me, condescending or trying to brush over or paper over the cracks. I thought Rob's done a really good job, and the interview today was quite good, saying, wasn't easy on the eye first half, was it? No, wasn't easy on the eye second half either, to be brutally honest. But we got to win. So yeah, I think he'll come back. He'll sleep well tonight. He'll probably go and see the wife and the kids tonight, and be back on Monday in a happier state than he was before. And I think he'll be thinking, well, the hard work's beginning to pay off. And no doubt him and Mr. Adams will be communicating over the next 24 hours on the phone about what the plan is for next week.
Yeah, a few in the comments sort of picking up on the hangover comment, Voodoo adding a twist to it, saying, what's this hangover he talks about? What on earth did they get up to on international break? Voodoo, it's the quality of the wine. I mean, you should know the higher the volume, you don't tend to suffer with headaches. It's that cheap stuff they're obviously drinking. But no, I think I said it on Thursday's Live Lounge, the presser cleverly looked a bit more relaxed. I think when you've got someone coming in that you can soundboard off, that has gone through this experience, properly, not just he commented on Nance and etc., being there and being really helpful, but they've not been in this situation personally. And it does help, and yeah, he absolutely can have a smile on his face, Talai going up and fist bump into the away end after the altercation that he and Hazard had, not that long ago. So was it Wickham? And so but you've just, like we said, on Monday, got to get back to it, heads down. We just got to try and work out how we can sustain this momentum. Right, let's hear from Galloway and what he had to say with his lovely little scar under his right eye.
Brendan, a win, an away win, a clean sheet. It's a perfect Saturday.
Yeah, really delighted with the win. 3 points, clean sheet, and it was important for us today, and now we recover and we look to the next week at home.
We spoke to the gaffer and he talked about how he felt there was a more positive vibe around everywhere this week. He feels it's been maybe the hangover that started with the Exeter game is starting to go away. Do you feel that's the right way of looking at it?
Yeah, we always have to try and stay positive, no matter what we're going through, the good times, the bad times, the tough times. We always got to stay together, and today I think on the pitch you saw it, we were fighting for each other, what we try and do every week. try and put a performance for the fans, and hopefully we can send them home happy today.
I think this is going to be the big thing for me. I mean, you could see in the last few games, I disagree with Galloway, they weren't really fighting for each other, let's be honest. A lot of them wanted to go into hiding, after mistakes. And I think, yes, we didn't concede a goal today, which was mega important, whether it was, if it had been the first or they'd come back and got an equaliser. This is where seeing how things will change and if they can sustain and improve going forward will be when we do concede. Hopefully not, folks, when we're at home next, but that will be the real tester of how they've got over this hangover to see how they can get on and move forward from that. So, well, let's go into the game. I can, and we're just over 40 odd minutes in, give or take. This team lineup, we were using a new one, but they're missing a player, lineup builder, which we've dropped them a note. But Gavin, you picked this 11 together for Northampton. Once we've discussed this, I will touch upon the Derek Adams interview afterwards. But yeah, take us through what you think and obviously who the missing player is for the lineup that you would go with for Northampton.
So I think we need to be a bit more front foot at home. Therefore, I've gone flat back four, but with Edwards taking, it's going to be unpopular, isn't it? Edwards taking the right back role and Suits dropping to the bench. I thought his game management today was very good. Suits just annoys me because he just gets bullied off the ball. He got out jumped at the back post twice. And I think probably a game or two on the sidelines might kick him up the backside because he is a very good defender. But I think he just mentally switches off in games, which annoys me. Whereas Edwards probably not as quick, certainly not as physical, but certainly mentally will be on it for 95 minutes. So Galloway will change his place, having done 10 rounds with Ivan Drago in Zimbabwe, the rumble in the jungle. So he's I think had a really good game, come off a bit knackered, but if you'd travelled half around the road in the last few weeks playing football, then you probably would be too. Mitchell and Ross were great today. I thought they didn't lose anything in the air at all. Off memory, Northampton play 3-4-3. Which will be interesting. So we need some real experience in that midfield. So I've got Dale on the left as per, Pato on the right for Sorinola, and then inside is Boateng and Rowles. But unfortunately, lineup builder does not recognise Joe Rowles as a footballer yet.
Because he retired.
Did he retire? Is that what he could have retired? Otherwise, is he still training?
He was just out of contract, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was out of contract.
The reason they couldn't add him.
Yeah, finish it off, Gavin. I'll explain.
I think he's the missing formula. I said it on Twitter earlier. I think to Jack Leslie, we were chatting away. Touche. Voodoo's throwing so with Trent, by the way. They were flat, and I don't think we beat the front player once. But I played rules in there with Boateng. I thought Boateng was excellent today. McCabe, I think his abilities when we're on the front foot moving forward and we're a bit further up the league will be far more beneficiary. And I think people like Amici and Finn will come into that mix as well as we get a bit more confidence and put it back on the deck and start playing patterns of play. But in the meantime, when it's bud and thud and crash and bang and wallop, we get it up the pitch and we play 4-4-2. So I'd go Dale, Rowles, Boateng, and Patterson in the midfield. And then I really like Mumba and Talai up top because Mumba's got express pace and he can pick the ball up and drive at defenders. And no defender, and I was bad at it, but the last thing I wanted was a young, tricky so-and-so running at me at pace with the ball at his feet. It's horrible. So that's the team, 4-4-2. And out of shape, you probably move Edwards forward and then you play a back three. So you go 3-4-2, 3-5-2 rather. And while you're out of possession, you play 4-4-2. So that's kind of how I see it. He'll probably pick Saranola because I thought he had a good game on Saturday, so that would probably put Pato on the bench. And I don't know what he would do with Edwards and Suits, but I would definitely play Edwards. But that is the team to be, as ever, slated beyond relief in my X following.
Well, to be fair, I think you were fairly spot on, weren't you, with the lineup for Saturday?
10 out of 11. So I had Suits. I had Patterson. I think in my 4-4-2, not Saranola, but other than that, on the right midfield, other than that, I think I was 10 out of 11. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just the reason why why I asked Gavin and Carl to use lineup and builder because we're having a conversation, or I was with them as they followed us the other day, and they provide a lot of watch along graphics. So you see like obviously a live score timer and all sorts and stuff.
The app's really good. I just couldn't find Joe Rolls. But to build a team is lovely. And
yeah,
you
it does
can do
look
all the different variations.
yeah. The graphic does look pretty good as well. Accidental Pilgrim agreeing, good lineup. Voodoo, I had to laugh at this. Zooks is more of a line-out thrower, Gav. Now, that is easy.
If Zooks is a hooker, then I'll eat my own testicles pan-fried because he's about 2'2" tall and he isn't wide enough. But unless you mean, wearing a pair of Louboutin heels, hooker, Voodoo, in which case I don't know what he does in his spare time.
Jesus Christ. Benny Van Life asking what happened to Benarouz, but that is, he did pull his hamstring slightly, so they did decide to take him off. He is going to be taking over Galloway, a sick note in a minute if we're not careful. Carl, so I know you didn't, I don't believe you shared your lineup with me, but
No.
give us your thoughts on what you would change. Obviously, Mumba, Gavin sticking with Mumba. I'm quite happy to see that out another game, but I know you're not. But yeah, give us your thoughts then on what you would change for your lineup.
Back five.
Back five?
Yeah, no, I was looking at the lineup. He's gone to the screen again. That's it.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. The back five, including Hazard. So the four and Hazard. So I wouldn't change it as it is. I think Galloway needs to start the next home game. I'll definitely keep Ross, Mitchell, and Galloway as they are. Boateng in the middle with Joe Rules, Dale on the left. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Again, I think Patterson coming in for Sorinola is not a bad shout, and I would stick Aseni up there with Talai. I think Mumba's had enough chances so far this season, and I think Aseni has got quite a few goals this season, and he does look quite a threat with Talai up there. So. Yeah, I would. That's the only thing I would change more Mumba for Aseni for me. But yeah, good lineup.
Yeah, fair enough.
With Pleggy and Amici on the bench, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
And Tegan Finn.
And Tegan Finn.
Hopefully.
It would be nice to see Tegan back on the bench, or at least start a game. We'll see. But...
I think with Tegan Finn, before I come to you the next, Andy, for your thoughts. I think with Tegan Finn, it was a shame that he was completely out of the squad today. I do, the sort of Derek Adams influence is going to want those sort of more defensive-minded players on there. But I think if we can start getting a bit more in open play, and if we can take that early goal lead, however it comes. He's a sort of player then when the opposition's trying to come at you, he could then open them up even more and become a threat as a substitute. But
I do agree with what Gav said earlier. I don't think it's the right time at the minute for probably Tegan Finn. Once we start to see results pick up and we look a bit more positive and attacking, then we'll probably see more of Tegan. I don't think maybe these games are for him at the moment.
Yeah, exactly my point. And I think he just needs to keep his head down, keep doing what he's doing for the under-18s, because that's the only way you can keep showing what capability you've got. We know the lads are an amazing talent, and so let's just get these players a bit like McCabe. And the thing with McCabe is that he created that goal for Talai with Sorinola from driving forward. That's what he wants to do. Yeah. He created it. He created that shot at goal. So these are the sort of players that feed off that attacking style of play. Andy, anything you would change in that lineup then from Gavin's?
Yeah, I just agree with Carl. Really, take a Mumba out of the situation for now. He has had enough chances to be fair. And I'd have Aseni in there, yeah. And that missing midfielder, yeah, it's got to be Rolls, isn't it? Because there's an experienced side, a really experienced side.
Probably would be, the most experienced side we've had.
That's kind of my thing. If you're going to play 4-4-2, have as much experience in the side as possible. And if it doesn't go well, bring on players that have got no fear. If that midfield of Royaldale and Patterson, there's over 1,000 games there probably in the three of them.
What secured the game for us today, wasn't that? We're bringing those two players on with experience, Edwards and Rules, coming on the second half. That sort of saved us the game, really.
Yeah, because they were talking later on. Yeah, no, I think so. It's the old age pensioners lineup for Saturday. No, Andrew TX9D evening. Sorinola doesn't deserve to be dropped. I thought he had a really good game today. I can understand, we were speaking about it just before we went live with that lineup, but I think it is a case of at home where you just want to just have that reassurance in there. I think Edwards is probably right for that sort of first 60 odd minutes to just see us through and hopefully get the edge in that game and then bring Sorinola on. But he has done well, Sorinola, today, but I'm agreeing, really. I think Edwards probably to start that game to shore up and bring that, solid and experience, and have the captain in the squad. I hate giving it to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He had a go at Mitchell early in the first half for causing him to slice a ball out, and I'm like, he passed it back to you, Hazard. You under no pressure whatsoever. You just had to kick it out.
It was on his right foot, not his left foot, and he's all left.
Oh, right, okay, fine. But I mean, it's just he had time though, Gavin, to bring it.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah. It just doesn't work for me with a captain in goal. So let me switch back to the main group one. So look, I'll get our score predictions now, and then I'll bring up obviously the Derek Adams interview for those that haven't. Well, not bring it up. I'll go through some of the transcript and get some thoughts as we just come into the hour actually live. Andy, what are you going for then against Northampton?
I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Argyle. And again, it's going to be Mr. Tulai scoring. And I reckon we're going to see a little belter coming from a semi.
Okay, yeah. And Carl, your scoreline?
For Saturday.
Yeah, get off your phone. Pay attention, young man.
Yeah, 100 lines.
3-0 to Argyle.
Oh, wow. Jesus. With a 4-foot. Okay. Gavin, am I going to hear a Mumba maybe to score on Saturday?
Yeah, you've obviously been reading my notes and spying on my Apple Notes as always. I've 2-1 to Lion Mumba. Both the top boys is what I've gone for Saturday. No doubt we can explore that bit on Thursday night if we need to. But yeah, that's where I've gone. Northampton aren't a great side, by the way. They're no shakes.
No, you said that, yeah.
So we'll get hammered now, 4-0 or 5-0 like Luton, but they're not a great side. So on the front foot, we should be fine.
Yeah, well, what am I going to... I think I'm going to go with another 1-0, I think, because we weren't that great. It was better, but it wasn't that great. And I think it's just going to be another dig your heels in and just try and nick a goal and win the game again to settle that. So Mumba to score. Wow, says Voodoo. Do you know what? I'll go with that 1-0, and it'll be Mumba to score. There you go. Why not? But I'm excited to see Edwards start. I'm excited to see Rules start. There will still be Rules will still be a little bit rusty, no doubt. But I think for that first sort of 50-60 minutes, I look forward to seeing what he can bring. So as Carl's still getting laboo-booed now by Sophia in the background. So the Derek Adams interview. Right, hands up who watched the interview. Yeah, I got halfway through, but I've done the transcript. So key outtakes from that. So at least I know when I go to you guys that you had watched it, so get some good reactions to it. But Derek's obviously delighted to be back. He says, returning after 6 years feels easy because so many familiar faces remain across the club. Community Academy and shop. He said he settled in quickly since starting on the 18th, Monday, but he was obviously involved in a big meeting with Paul Byrne, David Fox and Tom Cleverley after the Rovers game last week. Where a lot of things I think were put out on the table there and the plan of what they're going to do to sort it, starting with getting results, which we did today. Club has grown massively, he said. Home park operations are much bigger now. Infrastructure, for those that want that. Yeah, hospitality and commercial areas have improved immensely, helping Argyle reach the championship. Core focus, again, community, academy and football remains unchanged. An important one here, why director of football? Modern duties, he said, modern football splits duties, he said. Head coach picks and coaches the team. Director of football, recruitment, contracts, pathways, structure, long-term planning. He's done this sort of role before alongside managing, but now wants to take the work of the head coach to let him concentrate fully on coaching. Gavin, I come to you. A few people were like, we've employed him and he's got no director of football background. But the important thing there, which is what he was alluding to, is He's been a manager, so he's done the recruiting. He's been involved in player contracts, dealing with all that side, as well as coaching and selecting and doing the team day to day. So it's not like he's walking into a role which, in theory, David Fox has without really any significant experience. Derek has got that understanding. So I sort of completely shoot that comment down because he has had it. And that will help a lot in what he's going to do to try and change the fortunes around.
Just first thing for me, it was really interesting. I was talking to James Greenacre about this pre his appointment. He's clearly thinking that his management days are over because it's really difficult to go from director of football back down to a grass touchline type role. So I believe he's probably thinking more to his future, and now he's the new kid in class upstairs in the boardroom rather than being down on the touchline. Those who remember, that are old enough to remember when he was here first time, I think he thought he was director of football and CEO and finance director and chairman and head coach, manager and kitman and everything else when he was here because there was no money. And he did everything. It reminded me of the days of Albion. I'll get a rugby one in. When I rocked up to Albion to buy some tickets and Graham Dole was cutting the pitch on a mower and got off the pitch and went and sold me some tickets and made me a coffee. So write the theme tune, sing the theme tune. I think that's where he was. One of the things he said categorically at the beginning of the interview was a lot of staff here now, aren't there? I don't know whether that was a lot of staff here now, that's great, we're in the modern era, or who are all these people getting paid to do Sweet Fox for Alpha? I'm not really sure, but time will tell on that one, I'm assuming. But I think that's that. Looking after first team affairs, so it looks like now the kind of role's been split. One's looking at stuff on the field, whether that be ladies, who, by the way, are playing tomorrow home to Gwalia, 2 o'clock kickoff. If you can get there, do it. I'm taking the kids. It's an FA Cup game. The academy and the first team. So he looks like he's looking after football matters, and Foxy's looking after non-football matters, logistics and training and infrastructure and all that good stuff, right? So, which is, they are quite chunky roles. Bringing Derek in, I think there was a bit of PR spin in it. I don't care what anyone says. I think if Simon turns around now and says, no, it's purely this is nothing, that's a load of BS. Was it a right decision? Time will tell. Was it the right decision for the time? Absolutely. I thought he played a blinder because it took the wind out of all of the people that were going to Hypnos to buy a new mattress sales.
I was waiting for the reference again.
I was going to say that, those that were waiting for the Black Friday Hypnos sale to stop sleeping on a piss wet soaked mattress, they kind of were like, oh, okay, Derek's here. There was then the inevitable, well, they're going to sack him, aren't they, then tomorrow because Derek's in director of football, he will slide down. From the conversations I've had with people, that's not the case. I think if he wins a couple of games now, you'll get a lot more time. I think they'll see this as a blip in the road of a long road. But having that now from Derek, who knows all the dark arts going, algae on the pitch, all the other nonsense that he's come up with over the years, will do Tom the world of good. I was talking to James about this. It's like, who's he had to talk to before to go, I'm just going to go shit housery 4-4-2. What do you think? He said, no one. He's not, it's what his coach is going to say. Well, yeah, that sounds okay. So to have someone who's been there, seen it, done it, to pick up the phone and go, what do you think of this? I'm going to play 4 centre halves in the back 4, and I'm going to push. Other matches are available. Thanks, reader. This isn't the BBC. I'm on commission here. Piss off. Yeah, exactly. I'm on a commission here. I'll put a link in the bio in a minute where you can go and get. I think. I think it is a good appointment. Derek will now see himself moving to the boardroom where I think he's probably as suited. One of the things that did make me laugh of the interview was I think I've mellowed. And then he said,
I can't see that.
Well, what's changed? Well, I think I've mellowed over the years. I was a bit fiery on the touchline. Well, you never noticed that.
Yeah,
ever.
He was.
Jesus Christ. So I'd love to see a board meeting now where it gets a bit spiky because I imagine he will not hold back.
I think that meeting last week, Gav, where they had him in, I mean, there was rumours of Cleverley and Fox having a go at each other, but I said on Thursday that actually, do you know what? I would have wanted everybody to get things off their chest. Get it all out now. I want to know exactly where the land lies, and then I'll tell you how we're going to work to sort that out.
On the football side, I completely agree. And I saw the pictures of the training earlier, and Derek was stood a lonely figure on the touchline, hands behind his back, watching training. I thought that was a good thing. Not probably since Neil Dewsnip has anyone probably watched with any coaching ability of that ilk. So that was quite nice and quite useful to see. I think I'm getting well ahead of myself here, but I'm going to say it. I think this is a great appointment for now, right? But if we do, by hook or by crook, by a miracle, manage to get back into the championship, and you're then talking about the idiosyncrasies of a championship squad, the experience pool that he has to dig into in his bag is going to be limited, isn't it? Oh yeah, when I took Argyle up to the Premier, oh no. When I had Argyle mid-table in the Championship, oh no. So now it's perfect, and I can see it and why. I think, if we do manage to get somewhere near our potential again and get back to the Championship, there might be a real sort of interesting few conversations then around, Derek doesn't know anything about this league, which he doesn't. But as Voodoo's just rightly said, he's a real football man. So everybody for a long time has been saying the boardroom's devoid of football knowledge.
Yeah.
Although, Andy Parkinson's Grand's goldfish once had a reserve team off the bench, that was. Let's not get too carried away.
And that was only for a 4-second span as well.
It was, yeah. But he got on, so it was all good. The orange and the gold didn't work. Well, the orange and the red didn't work. But other than that, it was fine. But no, all joking aside, we haven't had a pure football man on the board, and now we do. And I think he will not be backward in coming forward if he has an opinion, which is, again, another good thing. And I don't think Simon would have employed him if he was thinking that he's going to have a little church mouse sat in the corner holding his tongue and sitting on his hands, because that's never going to be Derek, is it?
No, I think that's the best sort of approach right now is to bring someone, hire someone in. We're talking about it. I stressed that Paul Byrne needed to bring someone in very quickly with that footballing knowledge with him on the board, because he admitted openly, obviously we know that he doesn't have that experience. He was supportive, as Cleverly said, and Derek has said in the meeting that they had last week. But he does just need to sit there as CEO and say, yeah, I'm happy with what I'm hearing. We brought Derek in to support you and David. I mean, I've just seen some of the comments about David. I think this is where, for me, Parkinson's overstayed is welcome, in that at the end of the season is when we should have really looked properly at what was going on. I don't, Fox has had a tough time coming in without that experience, thrown in at the deep end really quite last minute, and I still stand by that as a surprise appointment. So we got someone in now who can deal with this situation in many different ways. He also goes on to sort of say relationship with Tom Cleverley himself, speaks very highly of Tom, bright coach, good person, says Tom has belief in his players and style, although I said in the watch along before kickoff that he's obviously ratted them out as on the quality side in a few of these recent games. But he said he will back him with advice, experience and support. The early relationship has been really good across the first week. So Carl Gavin noted about him being there in training. Cleverly obviously spoke well and highly of Derek in the presser on Thursday, and I took that for real. I felt the way he presented those answers to the questions were honest, not just because he has to, really, doesn't he? Which I know some of you in the chat felt that night. And he welcomed him into training, and so stand there watching him, it does add some pressure, but it's someone else observing with that knowledge what's going on to see things that you might not be seeing from afar.
As Voodoo says, there's no hiding from the Derek. It's great to see the interview. Great to see him back talking about Argyle again. I always liked Derek. I know it ended pretty sour after a really poor run, but there's never really a dull moment. We had some really good games under him. Obviously, a promotion. He brought in quite a few good players. So he's obviously got decent scouts out there from his time with us the first time, and new people to get some good players in. Yes, there were some duds there, like any season when you get players through. You always some that just don't work, but a lot of the players you did bring in were decent.
We want Jan.
We want Jan, yeah. We want Jan. Maybe he can come back on the board in some capacity or something.
I'll just get him on the pitch.
Or get him on the pitch, yeah. But yeah, it was great to see him looking refreshed, keen on trying to get this club back to where we want to try and be at the moment, is competing and being positive on the pitch. And I think he will give a lot of experience to Tom and to David as well, because I think he's lacking in experience behind the scenes. It sounds like he's going to take over more of the transfer side of things and the data on which players to go for, and leaving David Fox to manage the club and the woman and the other things around the club. And Adam's taken that strain off of him. So I think we all know that the summer window wasn't great, and I think that's been highlighted probably behind the scenes, and Derek will come in and kind of take over from that aspect, and maybe Fox can pick up things on the side from him as well, and maybe learn going forward in the years to come. But no, it's really, really great to see him back. And I think that had an effect on today's result. I think that was evident, and I think going forward, Tom will learn a great deal from him. So yeah, I'm all for the appointment. Couldn't have picked a better man.
If Tom can learn the dark arts of Derek, it's a bit. I was thinking about this, made myself chuckle this morning. It's a bit like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, isn't it? A little bit. You know what I mean? Like one's young, dumb, full of cum, ready to take on, learning the lightsaber ways, and one's got a very shiny finger. So it'll be quite nice to show young Luke the dark side of the Force, because he hasn't ever. There you go. There's a meme there.
I'm your father.
Oh, he's probably old enough to be his father, isn't he?
Probably is.
Yeah, as long as you don't cut his hand off in training, we're all right.
Well, as long as he gets us winning, he won't have to.
No, there is that too. But I think there's definitely some mileage in the Luke and Darth relationship. But I think that's what it is. We need that dark arts, and Tom's a very nice man, isn't he? And he's a very honest man, and he's a very hard working man. Oh, very good. See what I did there?
I'm just Voodoo. I'm definitely getting video ideas popping into the head.
I know. Everyone's rushing to chat GPT right now, going, give me that. The face spots are coming, aren't they?
I can feel another Voodoo video edit, or catch it in the DMs.
We need another Voodoo. We need another 18, but Star Wars.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's some.
18 won the internet for a year.
There's a lot of ideas that could come of that, so we'll pick that up.
Right up my backside, aren't I?
So Andy, obviously the injuries, the next sort of 2 key points were the injuries, obviously a major factor. He acknowledges Argyle's poor run, he said, but stresses the squad has been hit with those key injuries. Several players are now returning, which he believes will help stabilise performances. But the immediate priority, he said, is results now, not January. That's still 6 weeks or so away, he said, but current results take priority, of course. But the recruitment meetings, Andy said, have already taken place with Tom and David and data analyst Matt. Can someone just confirm, is that the new data analyst then that's joined us recently, I assume, this Matt? I know one was coming just after was it the forum, possibly, or not the forum, or something last time we heard from Simon. I assume that is the case then. So yeah, I think with all of that, Andy, you have got, so I think David will work very closely with Derek on that recruitment side. I'm not sure how much involvement he'll get in some of the other operational side. It's important that they both just get their heads together, get that going for January, because to be fair, the operational side will sort of look after itself for the short term because of what's been put in place. So just get your heads together. Derek will hopefully pull some rabbits out of the hat in terms of some
imagine another Carey and Ramirez now. I mean, he would. That would be it. We'd be up, wouldn't we? Done.
You stole my thunder. I was just going to say that. Adams has pulled in players like Ramirez, like Carey, like Jake Jervis. Some people are unknown to us, and yet they were legends now. Especially Carey. He's got a knack of finding little nuggets, hasn't he, as players, and he's got a good sort of network out there to sort of source that as well. And I'd sort of rather have him in sort of control of all that than having Clevs stop and think about that. If Fox and Adams together doing stuff, then you're going to get good results from that. I'm sounding like him now. No, you're Dower Scotsman.
Well, hopefully. I mean, definitely, if we can sort of get ourselves a bit away from this, out of this relegation zone, and a little bit away from it, will definitely help.
I like how you mentioned the loan market again. Sorry, go on. Yeah, well, obviously in pre-season or the fans forum, David Fox mentioned that we didn't need loans and blah blah blah, and clearly that's been our big downfall, not going down that route when it's been so successful. So there must have been a talk regarding getting more loan players in to help our our season, and I think that's not a bad idea. It's never worked. It's never gone this bad before without loans, so we've got a good history of getting loan players in and doing well for us. So yeah.
Well, as Andrew said,
Good
data
option.
got us Rooney. And Carl,
Oh,
that segued nicely into point 7, which was the loan market will be important. He said with 2 loan spaces left, whether or not we see anybody go back, because Cleverly did say in his presser on Thursday that he hinted about the fact that some players are unsettled. But yeah, he did say...
Who have we got on loan that we don't think's...
McCabe, probably.
No, McCabe will be here for the
Well,
season.
you got McCabe, Mitchell, Boateng. That's it, isn't it?
Now,
Boateng's not on loan.
Mitchell has been unsettled with his bereavement.
We've
Yeah,
got-
sure. But
We've got Dale.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Dale from Oxford. We've got Mitchell from
Charlton.
Charlton, yeah.
We have got McCabe
McCabe
from Middlesbrough.
That's it.
Boateng.
Boateng's our player.
Oh, he signed. Yeah, of course he did. Sorry, I'm thinking of JB. Sorry, I don't know why.
So we got 3 and 5. So I don't think it's loan players that are unsettled. I think there's some players that we signed in August that are a mistake.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to mean loan players, though. I mean, Cleverly was just saying
could be number.
Yeah.
My gut feel it'll be a Wiradoo or someone that's had an absolute hell's shite show here and never going to get his stock back and just wants to move on. That's my guess. I don't think Wiradoo's a bad player at a level, but I think he's had an absolute stinker here, and I think every time he goes over the whitewash, he's jinxed. So Such, that's a good shout.
Such possible.
He's got 1 year left of his contract, I think, Such, after this year. But I quite honestly, I think Derek will have he'll be lifting up every rock and seeing whatever little creepy crawly runs out, and whether they're good enough across Scotland and Scandinavia and anywhere else that's care to be Hazard. I don't want it to be Hazard, but it may well be Hazard. I think if he's got aspirations of carrying playing for Northern Ireland in the World Cup next season, he'll probably want to be playing for a championship side, I would imagine.
Maybe.
But his injury, I think, stopped him from being done last year.
Hammond, yeah, maybe might want to get out.
Yeah,
But
if
I
that's
think
the case, we need a bloody good keeper, because I think he's falling skin at the minute. But it wouldn't surprise me if we have. I mean, we've got 25 we're allowed to register, or 22 or 25, and every place is full at the minute. I also think some of the young kids need to go out on loan. I think Roberts needs to go out on loan. I think Hatch needs to go out to a proper club on loan. As a minimum of 2.
I think we're resting that though, aren't we, Gav? With certainly with Saka at Bristol Rovers, he hasn't.
That's what I'm looking at now to see if he even played today. I don't think he did. He came off the bench.
Oh, he did come off the bench. Okay.
Yeah. Well, look, I think look, there's a lot of cards on the table. I think in that meeting last week it would have been noted the ones that are possibly just not enjoying it, and you do get that. There's a lot of games as well, and that sort of 5-game back to back, it just felt endless. And that does affect some people when they are away from home. Cleverly did give the players a little bit longer off, just to bring that point up as well from Thursday. He felt that was right to do. He said it was too easy to sort of think we got to get back onto the training pitch and try and get this sorted. But he said when you've gone through this sort of tough time, getting back to family and friends and just having some time away from it helps. And you could argue that did have that impact today with the players out there trying to fight for that victory. So in terms of experience in shaping, Adam's experience shaping the role leans heavily on obviously his past examples, and as we've noted, the gents have Kerry, Fox, Songo, etc. in there. He wants to give Tom guidance on dealing with players through tough moments. I thought that was interesting when he talked about that. It's one, having that experience that he has of helping those players, the confidence, the psychological effects, and where we go that goal down. I think that will be interesting to see, when that does happen next. Touch wood, it's not soon, to see how we recover back from that. So he was giving a lot of advice on how to deal with that, and I'm sure he'll get involved with those players, with Tom, and have those chats, rightly so. Belief that Argyle can turn it around. He referenced the past. past survival and comeback experiences, including his times at Ross County, getting them from bottom to finishing 5th. Emphasises belief, system, and sticking together. And says being bottom now, although we're not bottom, we're second from bottom, is not decisive. It's where you finish, of course. That's obvious, but yet we've got to see a bigger turnaround. Atmosphere around the club, he said staff players are still positive and driven despite the losing streak. Winning will naturally lift the mood. That's the focus, and it certainly has today. And he's excited for his first game back at home park. He was looking forward as well to getting into the stands at Port Vale, but praised the Green Army's passion and pressure. Believes pressure drives success. But he's clear on what needs improving as I sign off from the points of that interview. Defence must get better. Attacking players can hurt teams. There's enough talent there, which is interesting. Good to hear. That's clear with Talai anyway. Overall message, belief, structure and recruitment equals results. There was 2 things that I didn't mention about today's game and we haven't brought up. One, cleverly more active on the touchline, more engaged with the game.
He clapped twice, I saw that. He actually clapped. I mean, his hands might have been cold, but he definitely clapped.
If there might have been cold hands, it might have been cold up there, Gaff.
Sorry?
It might have been cold up there, mate.
It was, apparently. Yeah. He definitely clapped twice, I saw it.
But it wasn't this. Oh, what do I do? But he was very engaged. He was really animated through all the scenes that I saw from the camera when it panned to him. Also, I don't know if anybody in the chat knows what happened or any of you guys know what happened, but there was an incident in the tunnel at half time. Does anybody know a bit about it?
There was nothing in that, apparently. No cards were dished out. I think it was just a few players.
Commentary said there was a Mumba and one of the defenders were having a little scuffle.
Yeah, nothing to it.
Yeah, so fair enough then. I did. Someone brought it up on the just before the second half on the watch along, and I didn't see anything from the cameras here. But we all know like Derek Adams likes a bit of hustle and bustle in the tunnel. So I'd like to see that fighting back if Mumba was having a bit of a jibe with a player. Talai was doing it to his ex-teammates on the pitch as well throughout the game, which was good to see. So some of the comments, so VW Coco saying Baidu's stats in Saudi League, played 4, scored 1 with 1 assist. Michael Hawks, who's the Reading fan that joins us on Facebook. Evening, Mike. Great listen and watch as usual. See you all soon. Accidental Pilgrim, just bringing up Baidu there. What's Voodoo saying? Derek was backing the bus up for the second half. Matt Montgomery in as well. Aseni, I feel for him. He has scored 4 goals and only started 10 games, bar 10 minutes here and there. Sem Pepple packing, says Stevie Vaughan. Again, though, I mean, if we start getting some results again, some of these players' confidence where they haven't been great could turn a tide as well.
So if Pepple did half a season at somewhere like Truro and bagged some goals and got them out of trouble, then that would probably do them the world of good, in fairness.
Yeah, don't disagree. Jack Smith, Michael Baidu could be recalled. I haven't seen from...
he won't come back.
He can't be recalled because it's an international loan, so he can't be recalled in January.
Fine, okay. Thanks for that.
He's got 3 years left after this year, so he better bloody come back.
Accidental Pilgrim saying Wiradu hasn't been given a chance in his favoured position. Carl did pit him just in front of the back 4 for his lineup today, or back 3. He's one of those where I think once he gets into his position, he was on the bench today but unused, could suit him better. What else have we got here? I think that's about it from the comments. I think we'll go to final thoughts now, but before I do that, just as a reminder, let me go and bring it up on screen. If you are watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, please do that. Give this video a thumbs up and click the bell icon so you know when we go live. If you didn't know already, of course it is every Thursday night at 8:30 for our live lounge, and then the post matches as you are with us now, Saturday 2 at 8:30. Obviously we're back to home park, so there'll be no watch along on Saturday. Be able to watch it from home park. Imagine that. I could stream it. I'd get in trouble for that. So I'm looking forward to getting back. It's going to feel weird, really weird, and I'm sure Gavin's looking forward to getting his nice warm cozy seat in Diamond and getting back on the wine again, or the Guinness alcohol-free seems to be very popular at the moment.
They have any?
Do they not have any?
Yeah, Dave Easton goes mental every week because he's
Yeah,
always
that's what I was referring to. He does enjoy that that
I've never got
zero alcohol. So we'll say hello to Dave when you see him as well, and your brother. I think, yeah, right. Andy, final thoughts then. How are you feeling going to go into the Saturday game against Northampton? You gave your score prediction earlier, but final thoughts from today, mate.
Yeah, confident about going into Northampton. We just got to go and get another win on Saturday, right? Get the boys fired up again, get them going up that table, and then all the sort of doom merchants will stop wetting their beds, and Gav will be out of business.
all the money will go into cash then, don't worry, and I'll find something.
Hey, well, those bed wetters weren't.
And the ladies next,
possibly will still be proven right. We don't know. Hopefully not, because we don't want the aggro. It's not good. Carl, final thoughts from you?
Yeah, echo what Andy says. Just going into a game off the back of a win back at home, which has been an awful long time. Been over a month since we've been there. So, yeah, I think back-to-back wins would change the dynamic of our season and hopefully get some confidence back into the squad, which looks like it's slowly coming back into the team now. And with injured players coming back, hopefully we'll start to see some more positive displays and some points on the board. But yeah, I think we've got to take our chances and take the game to Northampton, and then we'll deal with the Bradford game after that. But again, it's a home game where we tend to be okay at home. So if we can get Home Park bouncing again back to what it was, for the last few years at Fortress, and yeah, see what we can do. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin, we've got obviously the EFL Trophy game after the Northampton one on the Tuesday, December the 2nd, away to Leyton Orient. So again, that will give some of these players, a bit more minutes.
There.
Sorry?
I'll be there. I've got meetings.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's the one you said you were going to go to.
So I shall be there. Actually, really, you can take me for dinner, if so-and-so. Anyway, there we go. I don't think he'll give a monkeys about that game, quite frankly. But if there's players that are chomping at the bit, get them in. But one thing I'm looking forward to, because generally the director of football announces the team before about 1 hour, 15 minutes before kickoff. So to see Derek wander on the stage, King Derek from Diamond, and to see him announce the team, I just saw that. Yeah, he better find a good restaurant. To see him announce the team will be delightful. I wonder if everyone will stand as he walks in, and they chuck rose petals in front of him as he gets to the stage.
Gavin, you might have to sneak us another video for us and then upload it to
King Derek.
Yes. Good point, Mike.
Like someone holding his cloak as he walks through.
You're gonna crown him, Gav.
And he announced King Derek, and everyone stands.
Like Freddie Mercury with his crown coming on the stage.
That's definitely got to be another video, isn't it?
You get a photo, we can do anything with photos now. So, it's the voodoo story before, and there's certain stuff that's going around the internet at the moment, which is quite funny as well.
Use the force, Luke. Use the force.
Definitely.
One thing I will say is I'm hoping that there's worked on a plan. Now we've got Amici back in and around the place. That there's not going to be a plan B with a bit more width. So I'm hoping we start 4-4-2, but I'm hoping that there's a nice plan B of a 3-5-2 with some width, or a 3-4-3 with some width with Bally and Amici, because I think if we can get the game purring and have those three up top, Amici, Talai and Mumba, we have got very good front three that can all cause damage. But he's got to come back and find his feet first. But I was thinking earlier, as answer on a postcard, those who know, Steve will know, Steve will definitely know, has Amici and Talai played in the same team this year?
Oh, Christ,
or did he arrive? Did he get injured before he arrived? I don't think they've played in the same team, have they?
Oh, that's a great shout. Well, what we'll do is we'll kill a few minutes. So I'm just going to run while we try and see if someone can answer that question. Obviously, it is not. I'm just going to read the next few games leading up to Boxing Day. Cleverly did obviously note next 10 games. But yeah, Northampton Saturday, Leyton Orient in the EFL Trophy. Then we're at home to Bradford. That's a 12:30 kickoff, just as a reminder, looking at this fixture setup here. Then it's Wickham away, 7:45 on Tuesday. Thursday, and then it's Rotherham at home, Doncaster away. And then it's Reading, the Wycombe one threw me because it was a cup game, wasn't it? And then Reading at home on the Boxing Day, which will be nice for a change as well. So has anybody answered that question?
I don't think he has, you know.
Because
No, I don't think so.
you just imagine Amici, Mumba, and Talai. We're done then. It's happy days. A firing midfield and a decent back four. We'll climb the ranks.
Yeah. Well, look, I think it would. Look, it's certainly interesting. It's exciting to get some of these players back. That's for sure, to strengthen the squad, and then it might hopefully make January less challenging. But we also can pick up injuries, as notable today again with Belarus, as soon as these players come back. Just some final comments. So Nicholas G saying winning brings confidence, and Voodoo again saying we're doomed. I don't know what that was referred to again, but Stevie Vaughan not giving positive thoughts on Bim Peppel there. Doesn't think he's even good enough for League One or a non-league player. Harry Van Zeno, he's dropped in. He's just come home from the game. Look forward to listening back on Spotify. Yeah, I shall be wrapping it up as soon as we finish. So say within the next hour, it will be on there. Accidental Pilgrim saying was going to be sat in the hallowed seats of Block 9 on Saturday, but had to move to Block 16 as I'm now bringing the grandson and I have to sit with him. Enjoy the game, everyone. We will do. And then what else have we got here? Matt Montgomery, who said Mumba should play up front with Talai? It was Gavin, but I don't disagree. Let's mix it up. Sod it. Let's go for it. Talai is on something. His passing, and read of the game was awful at top. Aseni far better. Well, we'll see who's right when that lineup comes out, if either of them are up front.
When Mumba gets a brace on Saturday, I'll ask you all to.
But I mean, to be fair, Gavin, you've been saying that for games.
Several games. Clock's right. Broken clock's right twice a day, right? So one time I'm going to sit here and say I'm going to pull up the Farage European speech. You all laughed at me, or you're not laughing now. He'll be laughing in a minute when he's doing Serious Bird, but that's a different conversation altogether. What I'm looking forward to having with the illustrious Voodoo. But there we go. So yes.
So it's been picked up by Accidental Pilgrim saying they played together versus Blackpool.
Yes, I know there's one game.
So I'm just trying to
Blackpool.
Dig that one out if I can. Yeah, when we had the 1-0 win at home.
That's where we won games.
I'm just checking that. I'm doing BBC fact check. Yeah, he was in there. Yeah, and he actually scored. It was Boateng in that game that got man of the match, 8.3. Amiechi wasn't far behind on 7.3, as well as Mumba was in that game as well with Talai up front.
But it was Talai's first game, though, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah.
Tell you what,
didn't need that open goal. And no.
Oh, that's right.
Well, it was that.
They never trained together ever.
No, so look, yeah, this could be really it could be interesting. Look, it's exciting that these players are coming back. I know a lot of the players in the pre-season or when they were just before the season started and they're doing their tunnel PR photo shoots were saying Amiechi is the one that's probably going to score the goals this season.
Amici.
All that, yeah. Well, you know, is what it is, isn't it?
Can I just answer Voodoo's analogy because I've just thought of another one that would probably help it. So. It's actually the Emperor and Anakin. That's the one. in the David Brent together mashup. It's not Luke and Darth because you're right. He does kill him in the end, and he chops his arm off, his hand off. But Anakin started off all nice, didn't he? And then he got brought into the dark side, didn't he, by the Emperor? So
if anyone's joining now.
This is the Block 9 podcast.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Star Wars.
Yeah. Sponsored by Lucasfilm.
Voodoo, what do you think of that one? If that's the case, then you need to get video creating because I'm rubbish at any of that. Yeah. I'll have stickmen on a page.
We'll work that out. But yeah, no, look. So, okay, we shall call it there. Thanks, everybody, for joining us again today. And like I said, give us that follow, like, and subscribe on all the platforms as we stream it to you today. It was hopefully streaming to my TikTok channel today, but we don't get those comments in. So we can't engage there, unfortunately. But it's good to share it with some of the people that follow on that platform. So we got a few things, irons in the fire, something to sort of test about with that Carl and I were working on earlier in the week about bringing some of us together to sort of share and have conversation. I'll allude to the fact that it is a Discord. For those that don't know what that is, it's effectively a modern day sort of chat forum. We were looking at ways to maybe sort of try and engage with you all offline of all the social noise and channels that go on. So we will look to share that out. It might not amount to anything, but we want to try and get some traction there so you can get into a place where you can just talk all things Argyle, and that's what the server's called. So we will look to share some of that with you soon. But other than that, yeah, in terms of my final thoughts, it was good to get a result and a win on a watch-along after 6 on the bounce. I can't wait to get back to home park, as I've alluded to as well before. So, yeah, let's just try and build on this and get some more results and get us out of that bottom area. It is a poor league, as Voodoo's highlighted throughout the show. But, yeah, we are better than where we really are positioned. So let's hope that we can build on this. Other than that, thanks for your company tonight, and until next Thursday, we'll see you then.
Take care, everyone.
See you later.